What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Belinda Carlisle and more from her Heaven on Earth album, 1987. Thank you as always to Phil. And the next track is We Can Change, which is an optimistic phrase. It's a phrase that inherently is looking forward to the future, speaking to possibility, not impossibility, though by implication it would suggest that there is some need for alteration or change, and that the current status quo is in one way or another less than fully desirable, if not necessarily bad. So yeah, it speaks to dynamic behavior and with a sense of optimism, though by implication it suggests maybe things aren't all they could be. So let's give it a listen, see what I can pick up on this initial hearing. This is Belinda Carlisle. The track is We Can Change, and it's from her 1987 album Heaven on Earth.
In my head I hear a haunting melody. It reminds me of the way things used to be. There was a time when we had everything. We gotta stop living in that dream. No, nothing remains the same. We can't hold on, but baby, baby, we can change. Oh, we can change anything we want to, yeah. Oh, we can change the world and make it better. But first we gotta change together now. Oh, baby, baby, we can change. There's a message in the falling rain outside. There's a message in the tears falling from our eyes. I swear we don't have to hide anymore, but we always had to close the door. No, nothing remains the same. We can't hold on, but baby, baby, we can change. Oh, we can change anything we want to now. Oh, we can change the world and make it better. First we gotta change together now. Oh, baby, baby, we can change. Oh, baby, when you're trapped, something snaps and you start to die. Living all those years with your fears and you wonder why. Baby, we can change. No, nothing remains the same. We can't hold on, but baby, baby, we can change. Oh, we can change. Oh, we can change. Oh, we can
Sometimes I do get a sense that, like, okay, is it going to go around one more time? Is there going to be like another interlude? Though it depends on how far it is. I feel like that's maybe 3.5, 4 minutes. Yeah, about 3.5. So it got to the point right there where I was thinking, like, maybe it's going to start to fade if there's not another time around or two for the chorus, and sure enough, it started fading like maybe 1 or 2 seconds later. And yeah, I enjoy it. It has the optimism that maybe the title would suggest, though it does seem also to indicate what I was thinking in advance, which is to say that things aren't what they were or what they could be, and thus you have to affect some degree of change, and it does seem to be functioning on multiple levels. It's about a couple, it sounds like, but by extension, the world and, humanity more broadly. The idea that, to change the world, first you got to look in the mirror and change yourself, or in this case, first you've got to have an understanding with this person that, look, things were one way before, but they can't be that way anymore. We need to put that behind us because it's gone. Like, we both had this dream. The dream doesn't exist anymore, but we can change. We can't go back to the past, but we can alter what we're doing, or we can change the dynamic and make the world, which on the first level is like between them, and then beyond that, the world outside. And I do think there's like specific references in multiple verses to this being like a two-tiered process between them more narrowly and among other humans and the world more broadly, which again means it is a very hopeful song, even as it acknowledges that, there's some pain, or there's an incomplete or less than fully enjoyable or desirable status currently, and there will be effort involved, and again, maybe some struggle and so on. So yeah, it's inherently a positive song, and I think it comes through in the sonics, most notably maybe the like gospel style chorus with the backing singers, and there's also some backup vocals, or the choral backing in, like, I think it's either the post-chorus or the interlude. Maybe it was the verses, but it's not just in the chorus, but that's where it really stands out and sounds like a praiseful worship service. The like chime or xylophone melodic line, I really enjoyed that. It gave it like a brightness and a sort of stratospheric or atmospheric type of sound. I do also enjoy Belinda's vocals, and there was that one moment where she really had that like crazy vibrato along the extension, but just more generally, it had a nice and soothing sound to her delivery, which again seems to fit the attitude of the song. And yeah, maybe not as epic as a couple other tunes I've heard on the album, but it's in a really nice place, and if you're following the bouncing ball of the lyrics, I think it's very sympathetic in that regard too. So yeah, a cool and hopeful pop tune. Looking forward to more of the album. Once again, shout out to Phil and to all those who've been commenting, and I will see you for the next one. Peace.